I never planned to be an actress because I actually, graduating high school, I got accepted to the Naval Academy, Annapolis.
Wow! Annapolis. Big time yun.
Yeah, as a nuclear engineering major.
Okay, what happened to your dream of becoming a nuclear engineer?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Because I got pulled into the world. You know, I was always the smart girl in school, the straight A student body president, those things. So I never got that taste of being the pretty one.
So all in all, how many years were you in Philippine showbiz?
I went back in '93 until '99. So only 6 years, really.
When you leave?
Well,
6 years is a short time.
it was not planned. You know, so certain things happened, bad choices were made, and I couldn't come back.
Hello everyone, welcome to Usapang Real with Luchi. I'm on my nth America series, so I'm so happy to be here. And today we'll be talking to someone whose name certainly rings a bell. Pamilyar to sa inyo, Anjanette Abayari. This is a turnaround story like no other, which is what happens when you turn to the Lord. And this is one such story. Welcome, AJ!
Thank you very much. How
Thank
are
you so much for allowing me to talk to you today.
Oh no, it's my pleasure. Yes.
We know you to be the Anjanette Abayari, the film star, the Darna, the Binibining Pilipinas universe, of course. How can we forget?
Yes.
So you were once a celebrity in the Philippines, and you turned your back on that.
Yes. I did.
Tell me what the experience was as a celebrity.
Well, you know, up until now, it's still, you know, I still feel like that celebrity status is there every time I'm out in the public, even here, you know. So there's still
Kasi naman,
the
how
trace.
can people forget your face? Mga Pinoy, kilala ka na eh.
Yeah. So when I visit, you know, everybody recognizes me still, but. You know, I guess for me, I got accustomed to it. You know, because a lot of people would be like, my friends here would say, how do you get used to that? You know, people are looking at you, and I said, yeah, but it's not, you know, it's already something na nasanay ka na. So I don't know, I just went with it, I guess, you know, maybe it didn't really faze me. I don't know.
You're talking about that time.
Yes.
Parang
yes.
nasanay ka that everybody recognized your face wherever you went.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Is that something that you enjoy? Because, you know, fame is something that virtually all people, well, not maybe all, but most people would love to have.
Well, before I went to the Philippines, I was already modeling here, doing like MTVs, and I was cheering for the Raiders already. So you know, right. There was like this. It was being in the spotlight, like in the limelight. And when I went to the Philippines, I said, I'm gonna be a movie star. I didn't have like this delusions of grandeur of being an actress because I didn't speak Tagalog. Okay. So I knew I could be a movie star. You know, so different, diba? Actress, movie star. So I said, okay, let's be a movie star.
So by movie star, you mean you just wanted to be a celebrity?
Yes.
By actress,
you know, it wasn't
that's like a skill, and you learn it, right?
Yes,
you go to
I didn't
school.
know. Yeah, I didn't take acting classes. I wasn't. I never planned to be an actress because I actually, graduating high school, I got accepted to the Naval Academy, Annapolis.
Wow, Annapolis, big time yun.
Yeah, as a nuclear engineering major, and I went for the orientation that summer, and you know, I got scared because the ratio of women to men at that time was very. You know, it was a wide gap, and I really felt like something would happen to me there if, you know, I was there with all these men. So I just said, you know, Dad, Mom, I also applied to UCLA, so I'll just go there, you know, because I also got accepted there. So my plans were not to become an actress or to in that industry at all. You know, that just all happened. I don't know.
So when did it become a goal?
After I started modeling, I was I was spotted by a photographer for the Raiders, and then I started cheerleading, and then all this stuff, and then I started doing beauty pageants. That's how it became a beauty pageant thing. And one of the beauty pageants I was in here, I met Dr. Manzano, who became my mentor, and he was the one who asked me if I would be interested in going to the Philippines for Binibining. And that's how it all started.
I see. So, okay, what happened to your dream of becoming a nuclear engineer?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just because I got pulled into the world.
Okay.
You know, I was always the smart girl in school, the straight A student body president, those things. So I never got that taste of being the pretty one. You know, I never had this. Yung gusto ko yung, man, I wish I was one of the pretty girls. I wish I
can't believe you were not pretty when you were
Well,
young.
I never, maybe because everybody knew me as the geek, the smart, I was like I was in that category.
Talaga?
Yes, I was like student body president my senior year.
No,
I was
okay.
president of the National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, California Scholarship Federation. I was like, those are my things.
I mean, and to make it to Annapolis and UCLA, that's,
Yeah. So
you
that
know,
was-
no mean feat.
Yeah, so my grandpa kasi, he's Brigadier General Alfonso Palencia here, there in the Philippines.
Oh,
He was he was a very highly decorated. He's in the Korean War and all that stuff. So he wanted someone
and you
in the
had
family
role
to
models pala.
Yeah, so he wanted somebody in the family. I'm the eldest of all the grandchildren, and he wanted somebody to go to one of the military schools in the US, So I was gonna go, but my brother ended up going and signing up for the Air Force, and he became a master sergeant. So
Wow.
it was kind of
It runs in the family, huh?
Yeah, so he was the one who ended up going, and he's the one that ended up. He was in charge of ballistic missiles, launchings, and all that. The things I thought I wanted to do, but my stars were elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you shifted pretty much from brain stuff to beauty stuff.
Yes, and my family was not pleased at all. Instead of being happy for me, they were very upset. My lola, my dad, I'm wasting my brain, those things. But that was like, I had this fire, this yearning to be pretty, get validated as being someone pretty. I don't know. It was just this thing I had, an insecurity I had growing up.
Yeah.
So when I started getting all these jobs and I Budweiser posters, I did a lot of stuff here. I started feeling like, wow, this is cool. All girls want to be like that, the pretty one, right? So at that age, I thought it was. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
And how old were you then?
I started at 17 when I was
Oh,
discovered at 17, and then until I was 21.
So every girl's dream, I think, most girls' dream. Sorry, I keep saying every or all, no?
Yeah.
Meron namang mga exception
Yes.
dyan. But ikaw talaga kamangha-mangha because, you won Binibining Filipinos Universe.
Yes.
But that turned out to be quite controversial.
Yes,
no?
that's if I had known.
Parang binabato ka bigla.
Yeah.
Parang, teka muna, Amerikano naman yan eh.
Yeah, well.
Okay, so, for once, set the record straight. Ano ba talaga nangyari doon?
It was not a citizenship issue, it was a residence issue.
Anong difference nun?
Well, you had to have been in the country
Philippines.
for at least 6 months prior to the pageant.
And you didn't?
And I wasn't. I was there.
Oh.
I arrived there in February, and the pageant was in March.
Oh,
So nobody stopped me. So
okay.
and it was only after the fact when I was heading towards Miss Universe that someone, I guess, let them know.
So how did you feel about that?
I was
parang binigay sa'yo, nanalo ka, tapos biglang hindi pala.
Before I was devastated, but now it's okay because I still won. To me, that's what I kept. I'm not gonna. I don't like to hold on to the bad memories or the negative things. I prefer to hold on to what I've learned from it or the positive things that came out of it. Which to me, I still won. Even if they took it away, I already won. For me, it was okay. I did what I accomplished what I came to do.
Right. Is it safe to say that that's what opened doors also?
Oh, definitely. I believe so because that's that's when I guess the movie companies became interested in me. Although I didn't come back for another 2 years after, because I went back home first to LA.
I see.
Yeah, I didn't go right into it. No,
Okay.
because
So
I still
why
wanted to
did
be a cheerleader for the Raiders, which is also a big deal here. I was,
Yes.
and then I wanted to still do my like at that time I wanted to do Budweiser posters, MTV, music videos, things like that. So I wanted to do those things first and be 21 in order to do that.
Yeah.
So I came back first, and I wasn't really planning on going back anymore.
But weren't you planning on, staying here for Hollywood?
This is also Hollywood. And there's a lot. I had a lot of friends who had been on the casting couch, you would say, and I didn't want to to do all that. I wasn't gonna try to do all that.
But the Philippines, what about the
was
Philippine
just-
movie world, the showbiz
yes, well,
world?
they
You
all-
felt that was
those were-
something more acceptable to you?
Well, because for me, it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe because I grew up here, so I wasn't very intimidated with the Philippines.
I see.
The showbiz
Yes.
of the Philippines is not. It's not like it's these big actors. I don't know any of
Yes,
them,
that's
which
right.
I think helped me a lot because I wasn't intimidated working with the bigger stars.
Yes.
To me they were just somebody
Yeah.
to me like that I was working with. So that
Probably even felt that you were the more intimidating one.
No, I never felt like that.
No,
No,
no.
I've never felt like that. Not at all. But I mean, I guess I might have appeared to be that way, because I'm.
No, I'm not saying that you did. But,
No, but I have like when you don't know anybody, you have a kind of like a little block,
Filter,
yeah.
yes.
So I'm very quiet, and I look like I'm suplada when I don't smile,
Plus, you didn't speak the language
and I didn't
well,
speak the language.
right?
I'm very English.
Hindi ka
you
pa
know.
rin ba natututo?
Yeah, marunong na ako, medyo,
Oy!
but it's still medyo bulol. I'm more Ilongga than anything else.
Oh, I
yeah.
see.
I grew up in
Malambing.
Iloilo, so.
Paano ka naging Darna, ang lambing ng Darna?
I don't know.
So, how did it feel getting the role of Darna?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you this story because when I was 9, I was already living here. I had these recurring dreams. Okay, and my recurring dream it lasted about a good month. Like I don't know how often, but I was in the Philippines. I was in Iloilo actually, flying around in a red 2-piece. I'm not kidding. Over there in my town, Pasay City, with my, I'm like, Mom, why am I back in Iloilo? Why am I flying around at my lola's? Why am I there? What am I doing there? Why am I always dreaming this? And after that, it happened, and that was it. Then when I got this role, the first thing I did was call my mom at Boss Vic's office because the flashback came.
Grabe.
Yeah, I mean that was like
Ano yun,
such a prophetic
prophetic?
dream. Yes, it was prophetic for sure because I said, Mom, remember those dreams? And she said, why? I said, guess who I'm gonna be? And then we were screaming on the phone because it was so right, like it was really prophetic.
It kind of like became some kind of milestone in Philippine movie industry,
Yeah,
right?
it was.
Parang the remake of The Darna. I mean,
Yes,
that's
it was great. It was
Right.
great. I think I really embodied the role because I was very athletic already.
Also,
And I did my
was
own-
it
all
easy
my
for
own
you to do the
stunts.
fight
Oh, yes.
scenes and the flight scenes?
I did all my own stunts. I did everything.
Really?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Kaya, ha?
I took
No,
yeah.
but I'm sure you had some form of training.
I took gymnastics when I was was younger. I mean,
So
and I was
nobody
very
trained
athletic.
you for the role. I mean, for the role.
No.
Ikaw lang talaga yun? Oh, grabe.
I even asked my
Laki nang natipid ng producer.
Yeah, kasi sinabi ko, direct Becky. I was like, direct, do I have to have a double? Please, I don't want a double because, I wanted to be me. Because you have to have a double. I said, no, but I can do better. Watch. And then in the middle of the forest wherever we were shooting, I'm doing handsprings and flips, and he's like, oh, okay. I had to
Ito
convince
pala ang
him.
original Tom Cruise, ha?
Yeah.
Doing her own stunts.
Yes, it was. Yeah, I did all my own stunts. I enjoyed it though. I'm a tomboy, so.
So all in all, how many years were you in Philippine showbiz?
I went back in '93 until '99, so only 6 years really.
What made you leave?
Well,
6 years is a short time.
Well,
in
it was
showbiz?
it was not planned. So certain things happened, bad choices were made, and I couldn't come back. I don't want to rehash anything anymore from that time of my life. We were so long ago. And there's been, I learned lessons. We all have to pay consequences for the things that we do. And I think it's okay because God works all things out for the good,
He does.
So, everything happened for a reason.
Yeah.
And as long as we learn from our mistakes and, we grow from it, and I guess we get closer, to Him when we, He's close to us, so we reach out to Him instead of going the other way. you know, we all have to pay consequences for the things that we do, you know, but at the same time, as long as we remain faithful, He's also faithful.
But when did you come to a point where you just decided to turn your back on it?
When I guess like when I found my purpose, and I realized my calling, you know, I had a calling, and I realized that, you know, I had a purpose in God's kingdom, and that's what was more important to me.
Who brought you to Christ? Who brought you to Christianity?
Well, I always had a relationship with Jesus. Even when I was young, I went to Catholic high school and grade school and stuff. But I also always never just accepted whatever was told to me. You know, it wasn't until I met my now husband in a Bible study when I really started getting more serious about, you know, learning the Word and knowing more about Christ and just studying more the Bible. So when there was a point where he said to me, so, because I couldn't memorize a verse, like I didn't have any verses. I only had one. Be still and know that I am God. That was like, so that was the only one I ever knew.
Yeah.
But then he said to me one day, so you memorize scripts in Tagalog, whole scripts? And I said, yeah. You know, I was like, yeah, I didn't know he was going with it, right? But obviously he goes, yeah, and you can't memorize one English verse? Oh my gosh, my conviction went, you know, and I said, oh wow. You know, that means I'm not even trying for the Lord, right?
So it was your husband who brought you there.
He was.
Is your husband a pastor?
He used to be. He's an evangelist.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, he's prophetic. He's a prophetic evangelist.
How did you meet?
Through Bible study.
Okay.
By Bible, he was my Bible. It's actually all, you know, it was all God's plan. I already know this because everything that happened, leading toward me going to that Bible study. You know, everything had to be orchestrated the way God only knows how to do it. And I ended up at that Bible study. When I went out the first time with him, it was because he asked my friend who owned that house to ask me out to dinner. So I didn't know it was for him that he was asking. And so I didn't even talk to him the first time because other people were there. So I'm talking to everybody but him, although he's sitting next to me. But I didn't know him, you know, so I didn't go out of my way. And then the second time we had dinner, he asked again. He's like, okay, invite her again. This time he wanted to meet my kids already. The second time because he wanted to see how I am as a mom, how my kids were. I said, okay, then now you're gonna go with me to Disney on Ice. I want to see how he is with my kids. Siyempre, di ba? So I just wanted to see how he would be around my kids. You know, just to like, you know, I don't like to waste time.
So you were a single mother for some time.
Yes.
And where was your? I mean, I don't know anything about your life story. Can you tell me a little bit more about
I had my kids late already. You know, I had my oldest. I was already 36. So, and then my youngest I had when I was 39. So, you know, I was already so I wanted kids only when I got married, and it didn't happen. So I said,
so you were never married?
No, never did. I never got married. I just had my kids, and then raised them. Stayed at my mom's house, which in itself was already a challenge for me because you know, I had to be back home after being on my own for so long, and then that was also another lesson that I had to learn, that God placed me there. You know, we were put in place for a reason, and that's where we're supposed to be. You know, until we learn our lessons, and then we can go.
Right. Do you feel that your time in the Philippines was a failed?
No, I never looked at it that way. I mean, no, I never thought my time was, because I achieved a lot for the short time I was there. I did like, you know, over 30 movies. I mean, I was all over the place and I did everything to the best of my ability.
And at that time, when you were at the height of your fame, did you ever think that you were going to come to a place where, you know, you were alone? You were no. Did you feel harassed? I mean, because you dropped out of showbiz so suddenly.
No, I yeah. Well, that was my choice. Like, I didn't want to be around any, because I was more of I beat myself up. So, you know, that's what it was. Because I'm an achiever, an overachiever, you know, and if you have no one else to blame but yourself, what are you gonna do? So I just kind of like just didn't want to be around anybody, you know. That was that kind of had a little self-pity party, you know, for a while. And I never blamed God. It never was never. I mean, but I know He was there with me in when I was in my dark place. I was just I was that lost sheep, right? He came back for. Yes.
But he came for the lost, you know.
Yes, yes, yeah. But he left that 99 just to find me, and that was a big revelation when I read that, and I started crying because that's what he did. You know, that it's so easy for you to get lost in the world. The world will pull you, and it's so easy to just get caught up in it and forget about God. Forget you know that who you have to thank for everything, and you lose that. You know, the world is such a strong pull, and if you don't have it, you know, if you're not centered, and you don't know the word, and you don't have that strong, you know, sense of who you are in Christ, you will get lost. You know, so it's really important because the world is going to pull you.
But is there anything exceptionally tempting or seducing in showbiz that's different from all other industries or places of work?
No.
It's no different.
No, it's just more magnified, but it's all the same everywhere. It's the same. Everybody has their vice, you know, and everybody has their own temptations. And whether it's in showbiz or anywhere else, it's the same. It's just in showbiz it gets magnified or glorified sometimes. So you know you think it's like worse or better or whatever it is, but it's not. It's the same. It's just it's a different view of it.
But did you ever regret, for example, not pursuing your academic inclination? For example, nuclear engineering. Did you ever feel that you had made the wrong choice?
Well, of course, before I came to know that I was the daughter of of God, and like I was a child of God, I really had a lot of regrets like that. You know, oh, maybe I shouldn't have, maybe, you know, but I think that's normal. And you know, but I've come to realize that those things happen for a reason, because it's going to be used. He's going to use me and the things I've been through. Maybe it can help other people, other women, just anyone else, and I can share the things that I've learned through all my experiences, and at the same time share, you know, about the Lord. I don't regret it anymore. I used to, but I don't do that anymore. I don't beat
Did you
myself
feel
up.
bad about those times when you were put in the limelight in a negative way?
When I was in the Philippines?
Like, yeah, you know, affairs with
Oh gosh, I
men,
know,
but,
it's like,
you know,
I think
I
that-
won't mention
yeah.
the names anymore, but, you know.
So many, right?
Those in
Yeah.
showbiz know this, and
Yes.
so many of those who followed
See,
your career.
I think because I'm very strong as a person, and I know who I am, which is very important for anyone who wants to get into that business. Know who you are as a person, because none of that ever fazed me, because I knew the truth. If you know the truth, if you know you're not doing the things they're talking about, well, me, I didn't care. I'm like, say whatever you want.
So now you've actually parlayed that into a YouTube. Is
My
it a
YouTube channel. Yes,
Sorry,
it's a
yeah.
YouTube channel.
Tell me about the YouTube channel that you put up. That it's not even really about you. I mean, it's
no.
not a podcast or a vlog like mine.
No video of me in it, nothing like that. It was because my husband had always wanted to make YouTube videos. You know, just Bible verses, narrating Bible verses, and I didn't know how to do it. But I said, I'm smart. I bet you I could learn this in my head. So I went home and I prayed on it, and I locked myself in the office. Said, Lord, if this is something that you want me to do for you, if there's any way I can repay you, which will, you know, of course I can't. But if this is something that I'm supposed to do, please show me how. You know, when God knows you're hungry for Him, He shows up. You know, He shows up in miraculous ways. You know, if you're open, people don't accept miracles. They think they're coincidences sometimes. You know, but if you just open yourself up to the possibility of miracles. When I met my husband and I began to get more into the Word and really get to know him and just you know, just every day I Bible study every day of my life. I wake up and that's the first thing we do. So, you know, I mean, how can I not, right? That's when I realized that I had a calling. We all have a purpose. If you're a child of God, you have a purpose and a calling.
So when did you start doing
So this is mine
crafts
also.
and?
This is my latest pride and joy is this table.
Oh wow!
I repurposed it also.
So what was this before your
It
repurposing?
was dark. It was a gray, ugly gray color.
Yeah.
And it was ready to be thrown in the trash. It looked like stone
So
basically.
ito?
Yes.
Lahat?
Mm-hmm.
As in this gilded parts?
Yes, everything.
Ikaw rin yan.
Yeah.
Fun. So you're the one who put all
Yes.
these crack tiles or
Oh, yes,
whatever, yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Galing naman! Oh, wow!
Oh, diba?
Okay, may mini
Isn't that
grocery
great?
store
Yeah,
siya
that's what I
dito.
was saying too. So everything's labeled.
Grabe.
Isn't that cool?
Do you
That-
cook?
Yeah, I do now.
You do?
I
Oh.
used to. I didn't know how to cook before.
When did the 180-degree turn come?
I mean, you know, it came
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's still happening. You know, every day you get transformed. You're renewed. Your mind gets renewed. Every day there's a new revelation. Every day there's a new lesson, or you know, there's something else.
Yeah, we'll never be perfect while we're here, but
Yeah.
I'll see you someday in your perfect body,
Yes.
glorified body. Thank you for watching. If you like what you just saw, please like and subscribe.